competitive examination is like, of course, national hobby also. At the same time, it is very risky. There are a lot of challenges. Number one, once the student starts to think about competitive examination, they have to think about preparation, coaching, etc. Second, they, in current scenario, they have to be ready for these gap years. First attempt, second attempt, third attempt. Recently in this NEET examination also, I heard a girl was fifth attempt. In UPSC, multiple attempts are common. So these gap years that go there, very, very risky. Third, howsoever we may try, the seats are very limited. We cannot make them unlimited. The seats are limited, so the huge base of students, they don't go anywhere, they do not qualify the exam. So what avenues do they have after that? That needs to be catered to. I always say to my students, always have a backup. Backups are necessary. Whatever course, competitive exam you are giving, I think it should be done while being in the school, while being in the degree program, because that is the time when you should be preparing for competitive examination. Like after 12th, students should join something, whatever it is. It's a BA course, BSc course, whatever. As a plan B, they should join. Prepare for competitive exams simultaneously. If you clear there, fine, join. But having no education for formal education, I'm saying, not coaching, formal education for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it hampers their employability. It hampers their chances of getting jobs or doing anything else in life, because at the end it is like abhi to 12th ही हुआ है. At the end it is like we are still a graduate. So this is one thing. Second thing, there should be a simultaneously focus on skills. Like even for our BA plus UPSC students, we have started giving them skills. Some AI training, some Excel, presentation skills, some speaking skills, conversation skills, interview skills. All of these skills should be provided at the college level, so that college level, when I say, I'm not saying the competitive college levels, all the degrees, whatever it is. So after 12th, if a person wants to give NEET, IIT, fine, give that. It's a very good examination, very necessary, do that. At the same time, join something. Join a BSc close to your house. Online degrees, there are a lot of there. So you can join there. You can join certificate courses. You are not just sitting idle and preparing for an exam. Because this is also true that students don't study 24 hours into 7. Most of the time they are worried about, what if I don't clear, what if I don't clear. And those 2-3 hours that they waste in what if I don't clear, that is the time required for online degrees. It breaks the trust. It breaks the trust. Any student who is willing to sacrifice, come into this war, this game of competitive examination, it is very necessary. They should have the trust in the process. Only then they will be able to give their complete self, complete hard work. If I have to wake up at night, I have to study, then I must have this, a very core feeling that this is going to help me, this will make me clear this examination. But if the trust is broken, and if there is this generalized feeling that maybe some other forces that are at play, maybe it's a leak, maybe it is some grace marks, maybe what else and what not. There are a number of things. But if anything else apart from hard work and meritocracy is at play, then it breaks the trust. First, for those people who can clear it, it breaks the trust. Secondly, it also spikes the imagination of those people who want to use unethical means. If it can be done, many people start to try. So if there is a leak, now a lot of parents, a lot of students who can't do this hard work, who are not ready for that, they start looking for these avenues. From where can they reach? Somewhere jahan se hame paper mil jaye, from where they can get this paper and get that seat. Third, scammers come. So now if one exam gets leaked, now there are number of scammers roaming around. We will get you leaked. paper, we will do this, we will do that. So it hampers the overall education trust. So it's very important that no such thing happens, at least to the major examinations. IIT, NEET, UPSC, SSC, state PSCs. These are very important examinations. Not, I would not say very vocally, but yes, a lot of students have talked about it. They have concerns about it. Like a lot of students who gave NEET this year but couldn't qualify. They came in for our BA plus UPSC program. Now they are having this this break of trust in them, that ma'am, does UPSC also does such things? So of course UPSC is quite a stable exam, I say in this manner. But yes, they are fearful regarding the sanctity of the examination. As Gita says, do your job, leave the rest. So at present also, what students can do is, firstly, they can only prepare with the hard work. This is something which is necessary. We should not once one leak happening, one incident happening, we cannot take it as an excuse of not working hard towards our goals. So first, they will have to work hard. They should prepare with their wholeheartedness, and the qualities that they learn during preparation, the hard work, the resilience, the focus, the discipline. So it takes a lot of guts to do this hard work. It takes a lot of patience to work on your education and not go for these distractions like Instagram and what else and what not. So these qualities, once you learn during competitive examination, yes, it can help you clear competitive examination, but apart from that also, it makes you a person where you are useful anywhere else also, everywhere rather. So I always say, do your bit, things will fall into place. So our idea is very simple at Tathastu. We want our student to have a very secure future and a very bright future. So definitely we prepare them for UPSC, a premier competitive examination whereby students become government officers directly, IAS, IPS and IRS, various coveted services. But again, as it is a competitive examination, there is always a risk. So 10 lakh people will give, still 1000 will clear it. So we cannot blame UPSC for taking 1000 people, because they have to maintain quality, they have to maintain everything else also. So what about others? And even these 1000, why not to have a very secure and risk-free preparation? So for this, we started with our BA plus UPSC program, MBA plus UPSC program. So whereby students come to us after 12th, they do BA as they would have done anywhere else, and in those 3 years only we prepare them for civil services, complete preparation, so that they can give their first attempt just after their 3rd year. Similarly, after graduation they come, they can take MA or MBA. So during those 2 years, complete preparation of UPSC is done. So the idea is, while degree is pursuing, so you don't have to tell your relatives you are doing UPSC, you just say I'm doing MA or MBA, and that's the time your coaching finishes, so that you just give exam. At the same time, I persuade my students to take up skills. You should have some skills. Like currently, even when I hire, and now when you might have heard news about like IIT people not getting complete placements, IIM, there are some problems. Basically, degrees matter only till a point. After that, it is all about skills. If I have a person who knows it's his or her job, I'll hire them. Simple. So knowing the job is more important. So I ask my students, like, learn Word, learn AI tools, learn all these things. It's good, because if you know them, your plan A is ready, plan B is ready, plan C is ready, plan D is ready. So life is big, very, very big, very beautiful. We should have a number of plans, and I really get distressed when I hear stories about Kota or any other place where people just get obsessed about one plan and one examination. So I am a very what do you say? I want to do everything. And since child also, I was always wanted to do lot of things in my life. I never wanted to be this one thing. So earlier I started with my BDS. It was my graduation, Bachelor in Dental Surgery. Then I switched to civil services and cleared it, and now I am a teacher. So the switch has been first primarily for my own interest. So from medicine to civil services, the civil services fascinated me, interested me. I liked studying all the subjects, and now as a teacher, I wanted to teach. I become alive when I interact with people. So I feel more energetic, more with energy when I talk to students. This was one thing. It's not social work. I'm doing it for my own happiness. My own happiness in the sense, this is something I really feel about, that there is something wrong in the competitive arena. Competitive landscape is very, very torturing and harassing to the student, to the parents, to everyone else. Because ultimately, if the students are harassed, tortured at a prime age, then nation is definitely not going to. Nation will have problems. So as we are seeing, so students who are bright, they waste 2 3 4 years in competitive examinations, and when they do something, it's fine, but it's too late for them to uh, have that pride back, have that self image back. It takes time. So my idea was very simple. I wanted to change this competitive landscape, and the idea was nobody should have gap years. Everyone should pursue either a career, part-time job, or a degree along with preparation of competitive examination, because ultimately it is the problem of whose problem is it is that our graduation is not able to prepare students for competitive examination. It's government, it's ours. Ultimately it's all of us, and we have created such an education that we are not able to prepare our students for competitive examinations. They separately need a coaching for that. So that's again. So I wanted to solve it. I know I'm a very small cog in the very, very, very big wheel. I don't know whether I will be able to make any difference or not. But still, I wanted to try, because I will be more answerable to myself. I'll be more happy if I do it. Again, it depends. Definitely, both the reasons are there. Number one, the competitive examinations are very cutthroat competitions. Definitely, one need to do hard work. There is no alibi to it. There is no excuse to it. There is no other way. So one has to do hard work. For this hard work, they need to take time out. They have to study for at least 5 to 6 hours per day, self study, which is very focused. But to lock oneself in room is not the way, because that might have been the way when examinations were taken like 10 years back, 20 years back. That might have been the way, because at that time books were in such a manner, examinations were of such nature. But now the contemporary UPSC examination or other examinations have changed a lot. The way you consume information has changed a lot. It's not just in books now, it's everywhere. So we have to evolve with the time, and further apart from this, there are a lot of degrees, skills that we can acquire side by side, which does not require a lot of time. Like one certificate course of digital marketing, just say, it doesn't take much time, but it gives you a skill for which you may become employable at a particular time. And I always say to my students, the time you waste burdening, overthinking, feeling guilty about your lost years is much more than that time that you would devote in that study. So yes, they have to take some time for self study, but it's not about locking themselves, but to explore, understand the overall concept, like I have to do this also and focus on this also. Now you will be saying that, but we hear stories about people have locked themselves in the room and cleared UPSC. Just search. There are numerous stories about people who were doing their jobs and cleared this exam. There are numerous people who did this in their first attempt. For UPSC, people have done it in all the scenarios. इट इज़ जस्ट द नैरेटिव दैट हैज़ बिन बिल्ड कि कुछ और करते हुए आप कर ही नहीं सकते यूपीएससी, है ना. यू विल हैव टू लीव योर जॉब, you will have to leave your degrees, only then you will be able to do UPSC. I think that's harming to the overall nation.